Hey everybody. So I recently picked up running, and the other week I was on my route, and this old woman scurried out of her house, and she came up to me and she was waving her arms, and she was like, "Everything in my house just shook." And I love the elderly community, but I wasn't gonna let this old hag talk to me like that. Turns out it was an earthquake. I just didn't feel it. But I stopped running anyway. I adopted a dog during COVID. He was found in the trash. I paid the rescue $500. And then the vet $500 when we brought him home and he shit blood. My best friend is a $1,000 piece of garbage. We named him Anchovy because he came from a tightly sealed can that smelled like shit. And Anchovy is my soul dog, and I know this because, like him, my mental health is garbage. I like to use cutesy code words to make others feel more comfortable, like when I'm feeling depressed, they'll say I'm feeling dispresso. When I have suicidal ideation, I call it Final Fantasy. And when I disassociate, it's just a quick little visit to the void. Because, there's some people, my dad, that thinks mental health is a choice, and it's not like I'm planning my whole day around my shitty brain, like wake up, categorize my nightmare by trauma, and then head downstairs, have a double shot of espresso. There's a epidemic of serial killer content, and it's creating sleeper cells of serial killers. And if there's ever an onslaught of prolific murders, the first suspect should be suburban moms. And the evidence is their Netflix watch list. They must lead really stressful lives if they're choosing to unwind at night with murder documentaries. The only mystery is which cul-de-sac is the next special. I came home the other day and my husband was whittling. Never saw him do that before, and it's been several weeks and he hasn't stopped. So started to get a little worried, and I was looking up some information or a hotline to call. I found 1-800-NEED-HIM to find Jesus, but I think his background in carpentry would just make things worse. So I don't know if he's having a crisis or preparing for something. He does work in a jail, and I'm just telling you all this because if I go missing, someone needs to tell the cops to check the artisan canoe. I'm gonna do some impressions. This is my impression of Mickey Mouse. Uh-huh. This is my impression of Owen Wilson. Wow. And this is my impression of Celine Dion. I'm sorry, that was mean. Did anyone celebrate Shark Week? Sharks are the dogs of the sea. And instead of a cheese tax, they just take your fish. When they hear someone make noise outside their house, they get all riled up and they're like, "We gotta eat that guy." And when they do attack, we defend them. "Oh, he just thought you were food. We have to protect them." Sharks actually came up with their own theme song. Dun 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 dun. They're big fans of bass. Folks have rational fears like sharks, but some fears could be irrational. I have an irrational fear of the boogeyman because it was instilled in me as a child. If I were to misbehave, be out late, live on the first floor of an apartment building, I was a very easy target. My husband actually made a boogeyman stick for me to keep under the bed, and I am in my 30s. I have another irrational fear of mind-controlling slugs being put in my ear. If anyone's familiar with Animorphs, you may know what I'm talking about. Yerks. Okay, let's just include any bugs entering any orifices. I don't trust scarabs or Brandon Fraser for that matter. And my last irrational fear is sinkholes. Like, what are sinkholes? Like, the ground just opens up and you're on your way to the Earth's core? More people should be afraid of sinkholes. Like, one just almost swallowed an entire high school football team. And that's just another reason why I stopped running. I'm Kara Fisher, thank you.